Hey guys, just wanted to make a new video, Retroblox update part 2, and go over some of the things that I didn't mention previously. There's new information coming out, almost daily the last week on the Retroblox. Kickstarter's launching in April. It's gonna get funded 100%. I'd bet my life on it. This has a lot of hype already. GameSpot just did a nice little video for Retroblox, which I've got playing in the bottom left there. And for those who don't already know, what this is arguably a competitor to the Retron 5, but it's actually not. This is a niche of its own. This is the future of retro gaming one-stop shop. Reason why this is getting so much hype is because they're actually the first console to not only allow you to play your old retro games, NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, you name it, but they've expanded it to have optical disc drives to allow for CD-based games such as PlayStation 1, Sega CD, TurboGrafx, you name it, it's on there. So some of the new features that have come out are the system will be 1080p Full HD resolution. The Retroblox natively upscales retro games from their original resolution to full 1080p HD, perfect for your living room, while crystal clear pixels are a joy to view for some players. Those who prefer the older look of older TVs, CRT TVs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, will appreciate that there will be a suite of virtual display modes to allow you to get that retro gaming feel. Because you know what, here's the thing guys, and this company has mentioned this, they're the only ones to actually come out and say this. Yes, CRT TVs are plenty, you can still find them, Craigslist, Kijiji, they are still relatively easy to find. You can still get them on eBay, but they don't last forever. They die. Those tubes die. The tube TVs do not have an unlimited lifespan. I know because I've gone through several. Okay, they do break down. They're not going to be around forever. And next gen console makers and game makers need to understand that whatever TV we're using today isn't going to be the TV of the future. For example, 4K is the future right now. What's it going to be next? Who knows? But when, at some point in the future, an Xbox 360 is going to be considered a retro game to somebody else, and they're going to want to experience that Xbox 360 game using the same TV, same hardware that they had as they were a kid. So it's just something to take note of. One of the other things that makes this console unique is that it is going to have an interface, and an online interface at that, where as you play your games and as you upload them, and you can only upload them by having the physical version. This is not an emulator. This is what they're calling hybrid emulation. Quote from the company: if controller lag is your enemy, hybrid emulation technology also allows for the highest speed possible while still using your classic retro game controllers connected directly to the Retroblox element modules. In this mode, you can obtain near lag-free speeds for controller input, allowing casual and competitive players to push their skills to new heights. Controller lag is an issue, and it becomes an issue. It's more noticeable in certain games. Go play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for the NES. That is serious business. Even Nintendo with the NES Classic wasn't able to properly master that. You can check that out on YouTube. That's been tested by multiple YouTubers. It's not the same. It doesn't have the same response as the actual NES using an actual NES controller. It's a little bit off, and you really only notice it when fighting Mike Tyson himself, because you need those cat-like reflexes. And a lot of players who are able to beat Mike Tyson on the original NES were not able to do it on the NES Mini. So that's an issue, okay? And they're going to try to solve it. But back to the interface, it will have this online compatibility, meaning when you upload your games to your library, it will save them all into your library, kind of like the NES Mini, give you that virtual display. And you can also upload, whenever you upload a game, you can share it direct to your social media, direct to your Facebook account, direct to your Twitter account. There's going to have online capability, which leads into the next aspect. You can actually stream directly to Twitch and YouTube. And why is this especially important? Because one, it makes streaming a million times easier. Like there's people out there that use emulators. People like me, us collectors, us hardcore retro gamers, we don't want no bullcrap emulator. I don't want to play my Super C on my PC, on my laptop. Like I don't want to stream on that crap. I don't want to play on that crap. If I'm going to play Super C, if I'm going to play Double Dragon 2, I'm going to play Battletoads, it's going to be on the NES, on the original hardware with the original controllers, on a CRT TV if possible. And so streaming is going to be a million times easier. And not only that, you can now switch games mid-stream. You don't have to get up, turn the power off, switch game, switch console. It's all one console. So the streaming capability alone is worth buying the system. It's worth its weight. If all they did was create a Retron 5 that just made it so that you can stream direct and you never had to switch consoles and had the interface, that alone says this is worth $1 million. Like, they haven't announced how much they're going to be looking for in funding, but I did notice on the website, if you are interested in investing in the company, they are looking for investors. So I'm sure they already have investors lined up, which brings me to my last point: the team behind this console. I guarantee you they've put some of their own money into this, and that they already have some investors behind the scenes. Kickstarter isn't always a platform just to fund a project. A lot of the times it's just to get pre-sales, because lower the risk of the project and bring in a whole bunch of money before the release even happens. I mean, that's Kickstarter serves two purposes nowadays. But let me give you a background on the company. It's a California-based developer, producer, and manufacturer of next-gen video game-related products for new and retro game consoles. So they're going to be around for a while. They've created this new brand, Retroblox. Okay, this isn't going to be the only thing that they're going to come out with. Just like Hyperkin has come out with a million products, I think Retroblox is the new Hyperkin. The company was founded by video game development veterans Brian Bernal and Eric Christensen. The Retroblox team at large has a diverse background and has shipped games like Ratchet & Clank and Titanfall. And they've had their hand in digital storefronts like the Google Chrome store and consumer electronics. Have some big name guys behind it. They know what they're doing. These guys are veterans in the industry. They're passionate retro gamers. You know, it almost seems like this console shouldn't be big news. Like, if you kind of look at the Retron 5, it's nice, but it didn't get the hype that the Retroblox is getting, because this is kind of new. This is the future that retro gaming is going, because like I said, these CRT TVs aren't going to be around for forever. Your PlayStations, PS1s aren't going to last forever. Eventually the disc readers go, the little laser things that read the CDs, they die out. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. They would like, they'd like to get the rights to be able to do this for the N64 console. I described in my last video why that will never happen, thanks to Nintendo making some patents back in 2001 that aren't going to expire anytime soon. The real holy grail, side note, is if somebody can ever figure out how to do this for the Sega Saturn. I'm not talking about an emulator. These guys use hybrid emulation, but even they haven't mastered the Sega Saturn yet. They're working on it. If they can do it, they'll make a lot of money. Millions of dollars right there. There's people that would give their left nut to be able to have a Sega Saturn emulator. Keep your eye on it. I'll bring you the latest news as the Kickstarter comes out. The system's going to be selling for under $300, and it's going to include at least one extra module. It's going to come with a Bluetooth controller, wireless Bluetooth controller, but who cares what controller it comes with anyway, because we want to use we're just looking for the connector port to plug in our own retro joysticks. So let me know what you think. I know it's not big news for everyone, but There are people out there like me who really appreciate this thing for what it is. See you later.